Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm your host Kyle Wood. Today we're diving into the most complex and fascinating organ in our bodies, the human brain. It's the command center for everything we do, think, and feel. But before we explore some mind-blowing facts, let's warm up our brains with a little game. Sometimes myths get passed along as fact, and sometimes the truth is hard to believe. Think you can tell fact from fiction? It's not always easy. Consider this. You've probably heard it repeated countless times in movies, books, and casual conversation. The idea that the average person uses only 10% of their brain's capacity suggests 90% of our incredible mental potential lies dormant, just waiting to be unlocked, perhaps leading to superhuman abilities if we could just tap into it. But is this widely cited statistic actually rooted in scientific fact? Do we really only utilize a tiny fraction of our gray matter? What do you think? Is the 10% brain usage claim a genuine neurological reality, or is it just one of the most persistent and popular myths about our brain? If you need a moment to think about it, go ahead and pause the show, maybe talk to your friends about it. I can wait, and I hope you can too, because the answer is not going to be revealed right now. We'll circle back to it at the end of the episode. Today's word of the day is neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. It's essentially the brain's capacity to change and adapt its structure and function in response to experience, learning, and injury. It combines neuro, relating to nerves and the nervous system, from the Greek neuron, which means nerve, and plasticity, meaning the quality of being easily shaped and molded. Again, from the Greek plastos, meaning molded. So neuroplasticity literally describes the moldable nature of our nervous system. Understanding this concept is key to appreciating how learning occurs and how we can maintain cognitive function as we age. Now it's time for High Five, our top 5 fun facts about the human brain. First off, despite making up only 2% of your total body weight, the brain greedily consumes about 20% of your body's energy and oxygen. This 3-pound organ is incredibly energy intensive. Even when you're resting or sleeping, your brain is hard at work managing bodily functions, processing information, and consolidating memories. To fuel all of this activity, it demands a disproportionately large share of the calories and oxygen your body takes in. The energy is used to maintain brain cells, or neurons, send nerve signals, and synthesize neurotransmitters. It's a reminder that even seemingly effortless mental tasks require a whole lot of energy. Next up, forget a lean machine. Your brain is actually the fattiest organ in your body, with about 60% of its dry weight consisting of fat. While we often associate fat with negative health connotations, specific types of fat are absolutely crucial for brain structure and function. Lipids, particularly fatty acids like DHA and omega-3, are essential compounds of neuronal cell membranes and the myelin sheath that insulates nerve fibers, allowing electrical signals to travel quickly and efficiently. The high fat content is vital for brain development, memory, learning, and overall cognitive health. So make sure your diet includes healthy fats for maintaining brain function throughout your life. And third, information zips around your brain at incredible speeds. Some nerve impulses exceed 260 miles an hour. That's faster than a Formula One race car. Your brain processes information through a vast network of neurons that communicate via electrical and chemical signals. The speed of these signals varies depending on the type of neuron and whether its axon, the long fiber transmitting the signal, is covered with a fatty myelin sheath. Myelinated neurons transmit impulses much faster. These high speeds allow for rapid communication between different brain regions and between the brain and the rest of the body, enabling quick reflexes, rapid thought processes, and coordinated movement. While not all signals travel at top speed, the brain's processing power relies on the swift transmission across its complex circuitry. Number 4, Albert Einstein was one of the most brilliant thinkers of the 20th century, but after he passed away, his brain wasn't done. It embarked on a bizarre, decades-long journey after it was controversially removed during his autopsy without permission. When the brilliant physicist Albert Einstein passed away at Princeton Hospital in April 1955, the pathologist performing the autopsy, a Dr. Thomas Stultz Harvey, made an extraordinary decision. He didn't have permission. In fact, Einstein himself had expressed a desire for cremation to avoid becoming an object of veneration, but Harvey decided to remove the famous brain. He wanted to study Einstein's brain, hoping it might unlock the physical basis of his incredible intellect. He hoped future scientific examination could reveal unique structures or features responsible for Einstein's genius, so he preserved it for science rather than letting it be cremated with the rest of the body. Needless to say, this was a controversial decision, and it cost Harvey his position at the hospital. But eventually, Einstein's son reluctantly gave permission to study the brain on the condition that the findings be published. Harvey kept the preserved brain for decades. He had it sectioned into approximately 240 blocks and numerous microscopic slides, storing them sometimes haphazardly as he moved across the country. He occasionally sent small pieces to researchers, resulting in various studies over the years claiming subtle differences in glial cells or parietal lobe structure, though many of those findings remain debated. Today, the bulk of the preserved brain pieces are held at the Penn Medicine Princeton Medical Center in New Jersey, finally resting after a strange, decades-long odyssey. And finally, your brain operates on a cross-wired system. The left side, or hemisphere of your brain, primarily controls the muscles on the right side of your body, and the right hemisphere largely controls the muscles on the left side. This contralateral, meaning opposite side, control happens because major nerve pathways connecting the brain to the body cross over at specific points. The most significant crossing for voluntary movement occurs in the brainstem, specifically at the medulla oblongata. Here, the main motor pathway carrying signals from the brain's motor cortex down the spinal cord, called the corticospinal tract, decussates, meaning the fibers from the left hemisphere cross to the right side of the spinal cord, and the fibers from the right hemisphere cross to the left. Similarly, major pathways carrying sensory information like touch, temperature, and pain from the body up to the brain also cross over, ensuring that sensations from one side of the body are primarily processed on the opposite brain hemisphere. While the exact evolutionary reason for this complex crossover isn't definitively known, it's a fundamental principle of how our nervous system is organized. Different regions within the brain communicate constantly through intricate networks of neurons that transmit electrical signals down long fibers called axons and chemical signals, or neurotransmitters, across tiny gaps called synapses to other neurons. For the two hemispheres to coordinate seamlessly, they communicate extensively through a massive bundle of nerve fibers called the corpus callosum. Communication with the rest of the body involves signals traveling down the spinal cord to motor neurons that activate muscles and sensory neurons sending signals back up to the brain. Engaging in cross-lateral movements, activities where you cross the midline of your body, like touching your right hand to your left knee or drawing figure eights, actively requires both hemispheres to communicate and coordinate via the corpus callosum. This is why such movements are often encouraged in physical therapy and educational settings. They're thought to strengthen these neural pathways between the hemispheres, potentially improving coordination, cognitive function, and overall brain integration. Now for some news you can use. Given the brain's incredible capacity for change and adaptation through neuroplasticity, how can we actively support its health and keep ourselves mentally sharp throughout life? This advice is multifaceted but centers on engagement. Actively challenge your brain with novelty and learning. Stay socially connected, and don't forget physical exercise. Why does this combination work so well? Challenging your brain with new activities, learning an instrument, taking a class, trying complex puzzles, even taking a different route home, stimulates the formation of new neural connections and strengthens cognitive reserve. Social interaction is also surprisingly vital. Engaging conversations and relationships challenge cognitive processes and provide emotional support, buffering against stress, which can harm the brain. Finally, physical exercise increases blood flow to the brain, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients, and promotes the growth of new neurons, particularly in areas related to memory. By combining mental stimulation, social engagement, and physical activities, you create a powerful synergy for maintaining brain health and cognitive function. Okay, now let's revisit that popular notion from the start of the episode. Do we really only use 10% of our brains? That is a myth. This is one of the most persistent and widely spread misconceptions about the brain, despite being thoroughly debunked by neuroscience. Brain imaging techniques like fMRI and PET scans clearly show that vast areas of the brain are active throughout the day, even during simple tasks or when we're resting. While it's true that not all brain regions are firing simultaneously at maximum intensity, that would likely cause a seizure. Virtually all parts of the brain have known functions and are utilized over the course of a normal day. Complex actions, thoughts, and even seemingly simple tasks require coordination across multiple brain areas. Evolutionarily, it makes no sense to develop and maintain such an energy-hungry organ if 90% of it were useless. The 10% myth likely originated from misinterpretations of early neurological research or self-help gurus aiming to inspire potential, but it has no basis in scientific fact. You are using far, far more than 10% of your amazing brain right now. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.